Hey, what's going on, my friend and fellow Freedom Crusader? This is Paul Hutchings with paulhutchings.net. I hope you're having an awesome day. It is another great day to be alive, and in this video, I wanted to share with you a really powerful mindset hack, and this is a tip that I picked up in the book that I've been reading that I've mentioned if you've been following my blog or my YouTube videos, called Unlimited Power by Tony Robbins. Now, I've read this book before, but isn't it amazing how you can read a book at a different stage of your life and get so much more out of it? Well, that's kind of what's happening to me as I'm going through this book. So let's get to the point. So one of the things that Anthony Robbins talks about in this book is how your state, in other words, the way that you feel, your level of faith, enthusiasm, excitement, or lack thereof, is a huge determining factor on the actions that you take, and not only the actions that you take, but the effectiveness of the actions that you take, or maybe even the actions that you don't take. If you're in a bad state, you're not going to take actions. And so in this book, he talks about how the representations internally that we give to ourselves, our internal pictures, play a huge role in determining the state that we experience in our lives. And the cool thing about that, if that's true, which it does seem to be true, if you think about the images and the thoughts that you have floating around in your mind, they play a large role in how you feel, don't they? And so if they do, here's the cool thing that we can do, and Anthony Robbins teaches this in this book, is he said that we can manipulate the images that we have in our minds, and through artfully and skillfully manipulating those images, we can literally control the state that we're in by knowing what to do and what to change and how to change things. And this is actually a lot easier than you might think. And so here's the example that he walks you through in the book. He says, think of a very positive experience that maybe you've had in your life. And when I think of this positive experience for me, my mind instantly goes to the time in my story where I was walking outside my trailer house proclaiming my vision and building faith inside of myself. So I can picture this moment in my mind, as I'm thinking about this. And so what he says is, get this experience in your mind and then play around with the details of the image. And the details of the image he calls in the book Submodalities, which is a word that comes from neuro-linguistic programming. And all it is it's the details of the image. So things like, is the image bright or is the image dim? Is the image close or is the image far away? Are you in the image or are you viewing the image? Is the image big or is the image small? And you think about these things, and then he starts walking you through changing them. And here's what happened to me this morning as I was going through this exercise, is I'm picturing myself walking up and down my driveway, building faith in myself. And this is a powerful, positive experience for me because it was the moment in my life where I went from a state of, hoping, praying, wishing that things would work for me and my business to a state of power and faith and confidence and knowing that things would work and that all I had to do was perform the service necessary to bring the dollars that I was visualizing in my mind into my bank account. So this is a really powerful experience for me, and it got even more powerful as I was applying these techniques. So what he said was, he said, zoom in and make the image bigger. So I started to make the image in my mind bigger. Now keep in mind this was a positive image, and as the image in my mind got bigger, the positive emotions that I was sensing as I went through this exercise, it was almost like a volume knob was turning up, and I could feel the positive emotion raising. And then the other thing that I did based on his recommendation is to turn the brightness of the image up. So now this positive experience is getting bigger and it's getting brighter, and as it's getting bigger and as it's getting brighter, my emotion, my state is getting enhanced, right? It's literally, I can sense this turning up of the knob of how I'm feeling as I'm going through this exercise in my mind. So this is really, really useful for getting in a positive state to perform the things that you want to perform. It's literally visualize a positive experience and then play with some of the images. You can add audio to it. You can add inspiring music to it. You can turn the music up. You can do whatever you want to play with these images and see kind of how they affect your state. The other thing that he walked me through in the book, the other experience, is he said, think of a negative experience or something that's been a problem for you in your life. And so instantly some images came into my mind that represented something that's been an issue for me and has brought about like internal negativity and frustration and angst and those sorts of feelings. And so what I did is I was picturing these types of images is I turned the brightness down so the image got dim and blurry, right? And then the thing that I did that made a big difference in this negative image is I shrunk it down to a little pinpoint that was far away in my field of view. And when I took this negative thing and shrunk it way down, the same thing happened, but in a different way, in that my state changed quite a bit. Like this thing that was really big, all of a sudden got really small so that it wasn't really a big deal. And I know in the future when this thing comes up again and I can just picture it as this little tiny pinpoint, I have a feeling that it will all of a sudden make the thing that I think or feel is big and is a problem just this little tiny thing that is not even something to be worried about. And so I wanted to pass this along to you because it's a powerful way to pay attention to how you're representing images in your mind. To build a life of financial freedom, one of the things that has been really helpful to me over the years is to always visualize the thing that I want, the purpose that I'm after, the amount, whether that's an amount of money, whether it's paying off the mortgage on my house, whatever it is, right? To visualize that, have that as my definite major purpose, and through repetition and continually visualizing that, I've been able to get myself in a positive state of mind regarding this fictitious imaginary image. And what that's done for me is it's motivated me to get up every day and do the things that I need to do to bring that image that really is just in my imagination into reality, right? So it's an incredible sense and source of motivation. And gosh, don't we all need motivation? Don't we all need to be in resourceful states to be able to do the things that we know we need to do? In fact, this last little thing I'll share with you, and then I'll close out the video. I remember Tim Ferriss one time saying something to the effect of, if more information was all we needed, right? So now check this out. Like it's easy to say, I don't have the results that I want. I'm not as successful as I want to be. I'm not financially stable or whatever because I don't know how to do it, right? You could say that. You could blame it on a lack of information. But the truth is, the information on how to do the things that we want to do, isn't it abundant? Isn't it everywhere? We live in the information age. There's free information. There's YouTube videos. There's blog posts. There's courses you can buy. I mean, the information is literally everywhere. So is it really a problem of how to? Is that really a problem? And here's what Tim Ferriss says. He said if all we needed was if more information was the solution to getting us to where we needed to be, he said we'd all be walking around with six-pack abs and driving Lamborghinis because there is no shortage of information, right? It's knowing how to implement and to have the motivation to implement the information that we already have access to. That's the trick. That's the key. And so I hope these tips that I picked up in this book this morning can help you take charge of your state whenever you want and know that you can always and instantly put yourself in a positive, resourceful, energetic, enthusiastic, faith-filled state. And these little visualization tips can be a help. So that's it for today. That's my video. I'm Paul Hutchings. Feel free to follow me. You can subscribe to my YouTube videos. I do a lot of YouTube content. And I also can continually post this content to my blog over at paulhutchings.net. We'd love to invite you to follow me if you want more information like this. My mission is to help people be free in life through principle-centered leadership, and that's what I create content around. I also have some free gifts on my blog. If you're watching this on my blog, I've got some banners around you can check out. There's a link actually up at the top of my blog here at paulhutchings.net where you can check out my secret cash weapon, which is actually my #1 recommended way to generate cash flow in as short amount of time as humanly possible. I have a video that explains that. It's actually a company that I co-founded about 4 years ago, and that literally was one of the questions that we asked when we started the company is how can we help people make money as fast as possible in as sizable way as possible with doing the, now you got to do work, you got to produce, but doing the least amount, like how can we make it so the least amount of production can produce the greatest amount of results, and do it in a way where everyone feels good about what they're doing and nobody gets hurt. The people, the customers that we serve, they love what they buy. How can we do that? And the answer to that question, I've put in the tab at the top of my blog here at paulhutchings.net. So check that out if you're looking for a way, an honest, fun, principle-centered way to build some great income in 2021. And with that, hope you have an awesome day. Always go for your dreams. Thanks for tuning in. And we'll see you in an upcoming video, post, or email. Take care. Bye for now.